So a long time ago, I asked my pastor whether I could work for the church. I was very keen on like full-time ministry. It sounded really, really great, being paid, to do something that I loved. And I think my pastor, to his credit, he could see that, and he was very, very encouraging. I think he said I was on the right track, but he said no. He said no, cannot. But then he also said that I think, Calvin, what you should do is to be a school teacher and work in a school. And I'll be honest, that was hard advice because I really, really wanted to work for it. I loved that church and I thought it would have been great. But looking back, I really, really appreciate it. And I did take his advice. I went into school teaching. I worked in a school called ITE. This is in Singapore. It stands for the Institute of Technical Education. It's a vocational school. But if you watch the Jack Neo movie, I Not Stupid, it also stands for It's the End. That means it's the kind of school that you go to and then you kind of like, that's it. No more studying. You give up on studies and then you just go and work. And I appreciated that because it was a challenge. These students, many of them didn't want to be in school. Many of them just were not interested, but it was a challenge to try to invest in them and to teach them and to give them the skills that really would be valuable to them for the rest of their lives. Now, why do I say this? Yesterday, I was talking to a few friends actually, about how churches can help people who are thinking about their jobs or even thinking about full-time ministry, and how to prepare them, how to encourage them, how to give them the skills to do this well as Christians. And I think there are two ways. One is practical. Just give them opportunities to serve in church, because church is a wonderful opportunity whereby you relate with one another, you love one another, but by serving one another. And that's work. It involves being patient with one another, it involves doing stuff, it involves showing up. And so there's a practical aspect of just giving people the opportunity to work, within a church context, whether it's apprenticeships or really just, opportunities to serve in various ministries. But maybe even more important than the practical aspect of giving them ministry opportunities is actually that foundation, the foundation of work, the foundation of ministry, the foundation of what it means to serve God with our lives. And I think this is where Bible teaching comes in, because the Bible has a lot to say about this. Not least, how is it that we do our work, with a certain kind of seriousness, but also passion and also lightness, because it's just work. You shouldn't worship our work. But also then how it's about other people. It's not about us. It's not me finding that fulfillment, but it's about finding opportunities to meet a need and to serve people and to love them. And it's this second aspect that really arose because I was talking to someone about this conference that's coming up. It's what is it called? Gospel Union is doing this conference that's coming up on work. Really, really good speaker, Chris Wiley, pastor of you can tell I'm not prepared. I think EFC Church, PJAC. Is that right? Maybe I got it wrong, but a good pastor, a good Bible teacher will be speaking about the foundations of work in the Bible. And then the second half of this conference is a kind of like a work clinic where you get to talk to people from various professions, get advice, kind of like if you're looking for jobs as well, to get practical kind of like advice as to how to apply for these jobs and what to expect as well, or even if you should do those jobs. So yeah, but even if it's not this conference, I think that's one aspect that would be really, really helpful, to let people hear from God, what it means for them to work, what it means for them to find work, what it means for them to be productive in their lives. So Gospel Union doing this conference coming up. I put a link to please find out, check from the link, that's more accurate in terms of when and where or what's happening. But your work matters to God, and it's worth finding out what God has to say about your work.